So do you ever see something and you think to yourself, wow, that is really, really cool. I want to buy one. I want to make one. I want to know how this is. Well, that's kind of what happened with me and this next guy that I'm getting ready to talk to. So I think we're all in for a big treat. Stick around. Hey everybody, welcome. I'm here with Elias Grey. Roy, it's a pleasure, nice meeting you. I want to know all about you and your journey and what you have. This is Laser Map Maker, and if you haven't heard about it, you're getting ready to. It's kind of awesome. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Roy.
Thanks for taking the time to come and sit. I know you guys are slammed and super busy. And just to let you guys know, we're at the Next Level Laser Conference in Grapevine, Texas. You won't be able to come to this by the time this is released, but you're going to want to put it on your calendar for next year because there are amazing people, amazing speakers, and amazing vendors here that I had no clue about. Elias, what is Laser Map Maker and what is your journey? What was the journey for you to get there?
Great question. So Laser Map Maker, one of our vendors actually that came with us this year, he called it the opposite of a bee sting is the way he put it.
Okay.
And basically we just paved a way for people with lasers to create maps without having to be a professional designer or map GIS professional of sorts.
Right. So maybe even I could do it.
Yes. Absolutely.
We'll see.
Absolutely.
But just so you guys know, it's just amazing the layers and the level of detail, and then of course it's got to have a lake or an ocean. That's just really cool how that blue pops in that.
Yes.
How did you get to Laser Map Makers?
It's a long story. Try to keep it brief, but basically I did about 10 years in the military and decided that I wanted to get into software engineering. And just as I got out of the military, there was a free program that the military lets you intern at like a job that maybe you'd want one day. Well, I actually just did it for something that I would do for fun, which is I had 3D printers at the time. And so I reached out to a fabrication lab and asked if I could intern there for a few months.
Oh, very cool.
And they said yes. So the last few months of the military, I was actually paid by the military to go intern. And while I was there, I learned all about lasers.
And kind of fell in love with lasers.
Immediately.
Yeah.
And there was folks that were coming in that I was helping with the lasers, and they were selling these items. And I started going, you know, I'm doing all the work here, and they're making all the money. And so I decided to put my software engineering on hold and go full time into laser engraving. So it was a big dive. I'm a bit of a risk taker.
So
you know,
to you, it was no.
It really wasn't. It was harder to explain to my wife.
I get that.
For me, like I am very motivated by vision, and I have a lot of vision on a lot of things.
Right.
So when I saw that people could make money with this thing, and that you could put this in your garage, and I just loved the world of laser engraving, I just had to try it.
Right.
And that point between going from the military to a new career, I just felt that was the time, if I'm going to try it, to do it.
Yeah.
And so I took the dive, I bought a laser, and I spent about a year and a half trying. And it was brutal. It was very difficult. One thing I didn't consider is I just left a job of 10 years that I now, you know, am a man in my 30s trying to figure out what I'm doing next. And you know, that was hard to go from a steady paycheck and all those things to trying to sell a coffee shop, and they want to buy 10 tumblers at a time from you, and it's just not cutting it. So about a year and a half of that, I ended up stopping to pursue the software engineering career. However, at the end of that year and a half, it happened to land in Christmas time, and I decided to make my father-in-law a layered map. I had never made one before. I just knew they were cool, and he had this cool duck shack with these islands around it, and I thought that would be a really cool Christmas gift. So I spent hours and hours and hours trying to create this dang map, and I asked Facebook, and they said to go here and try these things, and I won't mention any tools just because they're all nice tools, but they just didn't help that much. So I spent 4 to 5 hours trying to curate a basic map with water and land and some roads. And
A little time consuming.
it was very time consuming.
Right.
And I'm a problem solver at heart. And so like at this point, you know, I've tried other online businesses in the past and I worked that muscle in my brain and I kind of knew like, this seems like something I could probably solve.
Right, right.
So I went to school it's a boot camp and I learned software in 4 months. I got out of school and the software economy took a dive for a good while. So it took me another 7 months to find a job.
Right.
Like right as I got out of school, the markets went really bad for getting a software job.
Right.
And so during that time, I built a few applications just to sharpen my skills.
Right.
And I didn't want to build things that were worthless, so I thought through what could I build that would solve a problem. And I remembered, oh man, that layered map was really painful.
Right, right.
So I think I spent 4 to 5 weeks making the first version of Laser Map Maker. It looked ugly, it barely worked.
Right.
And I pushed it into what we call production, so the live site. And I copied the link and I posted in our Facebook groups in the laser community, and I said, hey, this is free. I had such a hard time making maps. Would this help anybody else? And I got, I think, about 100 comments.
Yeah.
And I knew that basically affirmed, like, okay, this is a problem.
There's a market for this.
Yep, absolutely.
Let it out.
So, by the way, I did get a software job.
Excellent.
And I kept building.
Right.
I built a second version. I have a brother who's very into software as well, and he's very far advanced. And I got help from him where I needed it, and I launched the second version, which was 3 times better than the first version. And we just got a lot of people, like thousands of people that were interested in this.
Right.
At this point, we went ahead and co-founded together the third version, my brother and I, so as software engineers. So once we basically confirmed I had all these dreams of where I wanted version 3 to be.
Right.
And you know, my limitation was the knowledge of the software that I experienced that I had.
Right.
And
right. You didn't know what you didn't know.
Right.
Yeah.
So I reached points where I was like, man, you know, I've built what the community wants, but it's not where it needs to be.
Right.
So my brother came in, I gave him my dream sheet of what I knew these people wanted.
Right.
One thing I did early on was I put out a feedback form on the website.
Okay.
I said, what do you want? You know, what can we do better?
Right.
So people gave me all sorts of information about what would be helpful to them, and we built that.
That's fantastic. So question. So I don't know about Laser Map Maker yet.
Sure.
It's going to be one of the first things I do when I get home after this conference, because I really do. I just think it's fascinating. They are fascinating. But do you have regions? Do people, how does it work overall? How does Laser Map Maker work?
It's very similar to like searching on Google Maps.
Really?
You have a search bar, you can pan, zoom, drag on the map, you find your spot.
That easy?
But yes, and everything is based around the laser engraving community. So we understand what you're going to need in the end, and therefore we've created this studio to basically break apart those layers, and we have beginner templates so you don't have to do any of the work.
Right.
And then we have people that are power users that like to create from scratch.
Mess with it. Right.
Yep.
Right.
And so they'll do, you know, from scratch, they'll build the best, you know, map style that they want. And the great thing about building map styles is you can save these as projects and use them over and over again, or duplicate them into other projects.
Right.
Like that. So.
It's just fascinating. I can't wait to take a look under the hood. Some amazing stuff you guys have here in your vendor space. I am going to be a new lifelong customer. And I thank you for taking the time to sit and chat with me. Yeah. So thank you guys very much for hanging out with us today. Elias Grey with lasermapmaker.com.
That's right.
Lasermapmaker.com. Definitely check it out. You will not be disappointed. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Don't forget, like, subscribe, all that great stuff. We'll see you around. Have a great day.